Can you talk us through the framework? Just take us through it step by step.
Yeah, so it's called the Octalysis because it's a combination between the word octagon and analysis. So it's a visual octagon, and on the octagon, there are what we call the 8 core drives that motivate all our behavior. So everything we do is based on one or more of these 8 core drives, which means that if there's none of these 8 core drives there, there's zero motivation. No behavior happens. And so each core drive will connect to a variety of what we call game design mechanics or elements. Like core drive 2 development accomplishment connects to points, badges, status, trophies, things that make you feel accomplished. But core drive 7 unpredictability and curiosity will connect to things like Easter eggs, mystery box, lottery designs. And so those are things that make us feel like, hey, we don't know what's going to happen next. And it brings up that excitement and of anticipation, a bit like what you see in a casino. So there's these 8 core drives, and what's unique about it being on octagon is that where it's placed on the octagon will connect to different consequence of nature. So the left side of the octagon, we call them left brain core drives, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's geographically on the left side of our brain, but it symbolically represents our logical brain versus the right brain core drives that symbolically represents our emotional brain. Now, what's actionable is that the left brain core drives deal with extrinsic motivation, things you do for a reward, a purpose, or a goal, but you don't necessarily enjoy the activity itself. So once you obtain the reward, you hit your goals or get used to the reward, it becomes stale, people stop doing this behavior. And this is traditional, like if you do something that's boring, we'll give you loyalty points, we'll give you money, we'll give you a cooler title, right? But once those become stale, then people leave. Then we have the right brain core drives that deal with intrinsic motivation, things that people do just because they enjoy doing it. They would even pay money to experience it. And even if they lose all their progress the next day, they lose their loyalty points, their certificates, their diplomas, their NFTs, they would still want to do the activity today because that's how we measure our quality of lives, how much time we just spend on things we enjoy doing. And then we look at the top versus bottom of the octagon, and there's also different natures there. The top ones, we call them white hat motivation core drives. So it makes people feel powerful, in control, they feel good, but there's no sense of urgency, so they procrastinate. The bottom ones, we call them black hat motivation core drives. And so those make people feel urgent, obsessed, sometimes even addicted. But in the long run, if that was the only motivator, it could lead to people burning out and they feel bad because they feel like they're not in control of their own behavior. So white hat motivation is good for long-term things. And black hat motivation is good for short bursts of activities or one-time transactions, like getting people to sign up to a loyalty program or to redeem an offer.